Winnie, he is a gentleman who was abused by the sister, and he never even got to see his mother, and it has created a situation where he says he does not even care about her welfare. How does somebody like that get help?
Most likely the past maybe made him harden, and he grew up in an environment where there was no love at an early age, and this is how he started viewing the world. So he sees the world as a world which is not friendly. He sees the world as a world which is harsh. There's still hope, and he needs also to talk to people who can give him love. I'm not sure whether he's married. Because he's in marriage, he's supposed also to look for a partner who can also reciprocate. Now, the sister, probably that was emotional, and I don't know whether he talked about there was beating, so a bit of physical abuse. Maybe they lacked. And because of the mother dying early, they also suffered a lot. So this exposed the sister also to hardened, and she had also no time to laugh. So you need that conducive environment when you have things. So there's still hope. He can still get help. He can still be helped. He can still look for people who can help. This one we also do by changing your attitude and saying, I have to leave. Now, when you cease to live, then you will still dwell in the past. You decide, I have to move on. How do I move on? I'm going to get a company of people who are loving. I'm going to go to church and look for people who can love. I'm going to get company of, even if it's going to class. You can't miss people in this world who can give. So it should not dwell in the past, but instead it should not come out where he's stuck and move on with his life.
Ken, who else are we prone to have emotional abuse from?
Before I answer that question, I'm thinking of, he was called Duncan?
Benson, I think.
Benson. He never actually mentioned a father figure, but when he mentions that the demise of the mother, that happened pretty early in his life, and you only saw pictures, that points out to what I was saying earlier, that the sister was now carrying the burden of the family on her shoulders. And you're thinking, the brother now to her looks like a proper problem that she's not supposed to have inherited. Because your mother passes away and then leaves you with the burden of bringing forth, raising this other boy who's your brother. But that is not supposed to be your burden, really, truly speaking. So already, like I said earlier, work-related occupations, relations out there, that girl then now transfers her problem to the brother. And every problem she has, when she gets home, it manifests in the brother. But back to what you're asking, most of the problems we have emotionally are usually from people we relate to dearly. People you love, people you care for. Otherwise, your boss cannot emotionally abuse you, because it's just an occupational relationship, unless there's something else going on. So the proper answer to that question would be parental figures. A lot of times, the parent-child relations are usually emotionally messy. If you have a parent who's a bit aloof, or who's a tyrant, they're especially fathers, sometimes they can be tyrants, then that child will have a lot of emotional instability. The other thing is between siblings. Mostly there's this universal thing we talk about, sibling rivalry, and sometimes it's a healthy thing to compete with your brother or sister, like for resources, for success, trying to be the better one. It's a good thing actually even for your parents to watch you fighting, about this and that, but it gets to a point where it gets very vicious. And if, for example, there's wealth involved, like you see every time we lose one of these tycoons, the brothers and the sisters are on each other's necks. So the relationship between them breaks down. In fact, much earlier, before the parent dies, they already have a problem. So it only manifests when the parent is removed. But essentially what we are saying is that emotional abuse will only happen if you perceive yourself to be expectant of affection from someone and you're not getting it. So it would have to be somebody that you want something from, and usually it's not much, it's not even material. You just want some love, you want some affection, some care, and you're not getting it. Then you start having a problem.
All right. Now, Winnie, we have a response, great response with quite a number of people who have gone through emotional abuse, and we cannot answer every question now. But if somebody wanted help, how do they contact you? Where would they reach you? Where do they get help from?
If somebody wanted help, first of all, this emotional abuse brings about mental problem and psychological suffering. So we're talking about depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorders, and this is something which now, if you need help, you should come to us so that we can deal with it. We are based at the Kenya Medical Association building. This is Senda in Upper Hill. There's Nairobi Mental Health Services.